Hey there, welcome to Sea-Watch. The world uses nearly countless amounts of oil every year in one form or another. Indonesia alone has been consuming a total of 578 million barrels of petroleum products a year, or around 1.6 million barrels a day in recent times. This reliance on fossil fuels has its own host of long-term environmental problems. But when you have an oil spill, you create another world of issues. Oil spills can happen for a variety of reasons, from careless mistakes or equipment breaking down to natural disasters like hurricanes. According to the International Tanker Owners Pollution Federation, there are 3 huge oil spills over 700 tons and 4 medium oil spills that happen in the year 2022. These spills have the potential to be very harmful to the environment, marine life, and even humans. After a spill, since oil is less dense than water, it will typically float on the surface of the water. It doesn't just stay there in some big glob though. What usually happens is that the oil will rapidly spread out over the surface of the water until it becomes a thin layer of oil known as an oil slick. Then it keeps spreading out until it forms a super thin layer called a sheen. But that thin layer of oil can be a big problem. Our fur-bearing mammal friends like the adorable sea otter can lose their ability to insulate themselves when covered in oil, and birds can lose the water repellency of their feathers. Without proper insulation, they can end up dying from hypothermia. Not to mention, if they try to clean themselves, they might ingest some of that oil, while fish, shellfish, and other underwater creatures can come into contact with oil if it's mixed into a water column. Adult fish can experience fin erosion when exposed to oil, as well as reduced growth rates and enlarged livers. It can also hinder their reproduction. Even if they can successfully make eggs, the oil can negatively impact egg and larval survival. What's worse is that this kind of things can last long after the news stops covering them. You know the BP oil spill that happened about a decade ago? Some reports claim that animals are still being negatively impacted by the lasting effects of the spill, even though cleanup has largely gotten rid of the initial problem. Oil spill cleanup can involve a bunch of different tools, including floating barriers called booms, chemical dispersants, and biological agents, and skimmers, which are boats that skim or scoop spilled oil off the water surface.
In the face of an oil spill, immediate action is essential. But before we can start cleaning, we need to answer a fundamental question. How can we detect the location of the oil spill? Meet Sea-Watch, your advanced solution for oil spill detection and classification in the open sea. With Sea-Watch's colorful segmentation feature, you can precisely identify areas affected by oil spills. The first step is simple, uploading your star image. This image will go through a series of processes as shown in the flowchart. First off, take a look at this raw star image. Sea-Watch assesses the grayscale distribution using a histogram. The first process decides whether this image has noise or is it noise-free. If our algorithm detects there's a noise, it will either go through the Gaussian filter process or through the mean filter process.
The filter image enters the GICM process where it is adjusted by the gray intensities within the image.
Now that our image has been tuned through the GICM process, Sea-Watch guides it through the mean shift segmentation process where it searches for meaningful clusters and patterns, providing a more accurate and context-aware segmentation. With the mean shift segmentation process complete, now we take an interactive turn, where Sea-Watch allows you to actively participate in the process by selecting the clusters that specifically indicate the presence of the oil spill. Now that we've identified and selected the clusters representing oil spills, Sea-Watch transforms the individual selection into a comprehensive image that distinctly outlines and fills the areas impacted by oil spills. Then, Sea-Watch takes the final step to seamlessly integrate this insight back into the original star image through a process called image masking. With the precise segmentation complete, we enter the evaluation process using advanced metrics, the silhouette score. The silhouette score is a metric that objectively measures the quality of our segmentation. The final output of Sea-Watch is the comprehensive segmentation image. This shows the impact zones of oil spills. But the story doesn't end here. Sea-Watch provides insightful metrics including the total area of the oil spill, the percentage of the spill compared to the entire image, date and time of the capture photo, the time taken for your analysis, and the space utilized in the process. And last but not least, the silhouette score. The numerical representation reflects the quality of our segmentation.